Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London, and it's my privilege to review a book which I treasure. It's a book that I knew as O'Hare and Hill originally. It's now called O'Hare and Browne Civil Litigation. This is the 20th edition for basically 2022. It's written by John O'Hare and Kevin Browne, and it comes to us from Sweet & Maxwell and Thomson Reuters. The reason I say that is because this book I was introduced to when I did the bar exams well over 30 years ago now, and I found I did the very first course at bar school, the new vocational course, and I did not know what to make of this book at all, because things were different then. We didn't have the merger of the rules. We had the Supreme Court rules and we had the County Court rules, so it was a different system, and it was complicated and not easy to understand. Wasn't very well taught either, I have to say, because really you ended up having to know this book. Now, this book has gone through a massive change since I first saw it. This is the new one. We'll look at it now. It's the 20th edition from Sweet & Maxwell. There's the front cover. There's the spine. It's a paperback. It comes out regularly. It's a great book, because I use it even now, because I've got the white book. But this helps me very quickly, because the white book is the important one, certainly, but this is your starting point. Now, what we've got, Sweet & Maxwell are quite interesting. Thomson Reuters are now putting ads in the back of their book, and they're also putting out what's available, other books in the series available, disclosure, documentary evidence, things like that, and so forth. Then after that, you've got the index at the back. The index is by paragraph numbering. And so you'll see at the front of it is a detailed index. You'll see at the, when I get there, it's got a legal taxonomy at the back, which you can probably see there. That will tell you how to use the actual index, because you can cross-refer from the front, the back to the front with the content section, which I will get to. The book runs now to 700 odd pages. It's a bit bigger than it was when I first came across it. That's the current front page. And then there's the first edition came out in 1980, and of course I saw the edition, the 1988 I think edition it was. There's the preface, which sets out where we are from, and the law is as stated on the 1st of July 2021. Then you've got a table of contents, so you should, with the contents and the index, you should be able to find things pretty easily. Then you've got the table of cases, not that many, but a few. Some of the favourites are there as well. Then the table of statutes, and then you've got, again, the SIs, the statutory instruments, and then you've got the CPR, Civil Procedure Rules. Very, very important. You have to know your way around those. As I say, when I did it, it was a very different set of... It was much more difficult. Lord Wolfe must take massive credit for the changes with the Civil Procedure Act and the CPR. Then you've got the PDs and the protocols. The only problem we've got with the White Book is it keeps growing and growing. It's going to be more and more stuff, and so at some stage they'll have to call a halt to that and then review everything again, but not yet. Then you start with the chapters. It starts off civil litigation in outline. It sets out how the courts are structured now, paragraph numbering at the sides. You've got no footnoting, which is good because you can read through it. Again, we didn't have the Supreme Court when I first started. It was actually the House of Lords. Obviously things have changed. Then it talks about the civil procedure rules, the overriding objective and everything. And it leads you in nicely to where you're coming. Then classic, this is a wonderful one, summary judgment, always a favourite. You tend to get those just after your end of pupillage. That's throwing people in the deep end sometimes. But you can see what you've got. You've again got the subject head, you've got the paragraph numbering, and it tells you what it's about. And it does make it readable when you come to compare what's in the White Book. So what do I say? I say the entire spectrum of civil litigation is covered for the uninitiated. And I refer now, with the problems we've got, not just to people like myself who are always learning, but the unrepresented parties, litigants in person who are doing it themselves because of cost. And they think they know a bit, but you know what the problem is. A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. And don't go into this thinking you know the answers. The only way, the surest way, apart from knowing your way around this book, so you've got an understanding, is you have to go to the white book itself, or equivalent. But I say the white book because that's the fundamental practice book. And you've got to know your way around it, because what you've got here with the 20th edition of O'Hare and Browne is it tells students, and those new to civil litigation, how they expand